Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan and welcome to the latest edition of the RCB Entertainment Show as we look at upcoming TV series and movies debuting here in Ireland this month. This week's edition, we're looking at Hightown Season 2, which is debuting here in Ireland on Channel Starzplay on October the 17th. And I'm delighted to be joined by one of the stars of the show now. She plays the informant in Season 1. You might remember as our character Renee Segna. And hopefully, Riley, my pronunciation of your surname is correct. I think there's a bit of a Dutch swing to it. So Riley Voelkel, am I correct?
That sounds good. Riley Voelkel, yes. And it is German, but my first name is Irish.
First name is Irish. So you have a bit of Irish blood and you Irish descendancy as well, Riley.
That's right. I do.
Okay. Riley, I suppose Hightown Season 2, a busy time for you in terms of media stuff and preparation, but I suppose very much a success Season 1. Your character had her moments throughout the season. She left on sort of higher ground in terms of the ending of Season 1, showing her allegiances to Frankie Quivez, much to the distraught of the general public, but an exciting, I imagine, twist for you and your character.
Yes, definitely. She definitely went through her ups and downs in Season 1. And I think ultimately chose Frankie, who most importantly to her is the father of her child. I think, you know, while she still fears Frankie, she fears her life without him. She doesn't know much different yet. And yeah, so ultimately that was her decision. And I think their plan, you know, at that point is to kind of start running things and take over.
And Riley, how did the opportunity come about for you to get cast in Hightown? Was it just your normal, regular audition sort of process?
So I was shooting a different show at the time and I received the audition, and I just remember reading the script and just being so in love with the writing and just feeling like I just absolutely had to be a part of the show. So I did a self-tape and turned it in, and then, you know, got called back in and went through the process of testing with James Badgedale, who plays Ray. And in that process, you know, there was immediate connection. I really wanted to work with these people I was already meeting. Yeah, so it was kind of your classic audition story. And just, I'm so grateful for it, because it's been a dream role.
And I suppose much of the cast, you probably were aware of Mari Nolasco from Prison Break, already much a renowned sort of TV show. But one of the stars of the show as well, Monica Raymond, who plays Jackie Quinn as a Marine type detective. So it's more or less centered around, there's 3 or 4 sort of key sort of stories running around sort of each episode, where you're sort of running between one character to the next character in terms of their involvement.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not your typical, you know, procedural crime drama. It's very character based, and it's kind of about how all these people's lives intertwine over the same crime. And, you know, just shines a light on the fact that addiction takes many forms, and you just get really sucked into each of these characters' stories and what they have at stake.
And playing an exotic sort of dancer sort of role, is that sort of daunting at first, or is it very much as it goes on, is it much sort of fun and sort of enjoyment where you can play a character so out there in terms of your own sort of normal personal life and routine? That kind of is exciting in one sense, because you can go off into that sort of mystery sort of a world.
Totally. You nailed it. That was my experience. At first it was daunting because I couldn't even touch my toes. I had 0 dance experience. So the idea of getting up there and portraying confidence and power and, you know, sex appeal was not something that came naturally for me. And it was something I had to train for and learn. And I'll say, though, it sure did become such an empowering, exciting experience. Like you said, I got to play a character that is so different than me in real life. But I also got to learn a lot about that world. You know, the girls who were dancers on the shows were just so supportive. My trainers were so supportive and just really showed the empowering side of it. And brought out a side of me I didn't know really existed.
And Riley, what does a normal week in terms of on set, in terms of production, look like in terms of Hightown? For the when you come in, say, of a Monday morning, and you have go through that sort of sit down and have that sort of a table read, are you looking at maybe an 8-day turnaround per episode in terms of block shooting and shooting on set and everything, or is it a bit more from the point of once you get that episode sort of story between turns and twists? Is it a bit more than 8 days?
Is it a bit more what, sorry?
Is it a bit longer than 7 or 8 day turnaround per episode shooting?
I believe it was a tad longer, if I remember correctly, but yeah, it's like, you know, you get in, we start with a table read, typically, and go through everything. And then you're kind of taking in everything at that point. And then when we're ready to shoot, you come in, it's hair, it's makeup, it's wardrobe, and then you're getting on set and rehearsing. And what is great about this show is when we rehearsed, they really gave us freedom as actors to play and be creative and improv and find the scene together. And that was just such a benefit of this show that you don't always get as an actor. And I think it creates creativity. Yeah, we took our, you know, I never really felt overly rushed. I felt like they really valued the time it took to find each scene and allow us to do that. And we were just really, really lucky. And I couldn't wait to get to work every day.
And you mentioned that in terms of waiting to get to work every sort of day, and in terms of the camaraderie, in terms of the cast and building up those relationships now into the second season, is there an awful lot of jovial experience and jovial memories and stories that you have from your time on the set of Hightown that will last you for a lifetime in terms of those in-betake cut scenes between takes?
Absolutely. Like I couldn't say enough how much this cast has just been a dream cast for me. We have just gotten along so well. We have an incredible leader in Monica, and she's just really set the tone for an environment where we're professional, but we also are, you know, such good teammates. I've been inspired by every single one of the actors on this show, and have looked up to them and learned so much from them and grown so much from them. And we have so much fun. You know, we make each other laugh a lot in between scenes. You know, we have to deal with a lot of uncomfortable stuff. And so it's nice to be able to, you know, also shine some light on the situation in between shooting and have some fun. And we just really, really get along. And I have memories with them that I will not only remember forever, but cannot wait to make more of.
And Riley, what's it like to have the legendary Jerry Bruckheimer as a mentor to you in terms of the show Hightown as well, so renowned throughout the business?
I mean, again, just a dream to be able to be working with Jerry Bruckheimer. He is the best of the best, and it shows through shooting on one of his shows how things are run. It's just it's flawless. You know, it's supportive of creativity, professional, everything you could hope for as an actor. And I'm just so glad to be working with JBTV and Starz. They've created an environment that I'm super proud to be a part of.
And Riley, the last 3 questions now, you'll be delighted to know. Riley, first one, in terms of Hightown and in terms of your own sort of character, if someone put the character Renee Segna into a sort of an encyclopedia, a dictionary as such, and they left 2 blank sentences under her name, a synopsis as such, and the talent agent got onto you in terms of, we want you to write those 2 sentences. What would you like those 2 sentences to read to sum up who she is?
I mean, I would definitely say something along the lines of her being a survivor and a fighter, and someone who is willing to sacrifice anything to give a better life to her and her son, and is first and foremost a mother who is doing the best she can with what she was given, and is, yeah, ultimately a fighter, I think.
Ultimately a fighter. And Riley, in terms of the upcoming year in 2021 and 2022, late into the fall, have you anything else in the pipeline that's coming our way here in Ireland and the UK that you would like to share with us?
I do. I have two projects I've been able, well, one I'm just finishing shooting right now, and one that I'm going off to shoot right after. One being a TV show, one being a film. And I don't think I can talk about either of them yet, but I promise I will when I can. And I hope you guys will check them out.
Yeah, and finally, hopefully I get the pronunciation, I remember it right, Riley Voelkel. If I can turn over to your own character now, Renee Segna, for the final 30 seconds, she might enlighten all our viewers and listeners why they should tune in en masse on October the 17th for season 2 of Hightown on Channel Starzplay and here in Ireland and the UK, and what's in store for them. Over to you, Renee.
Yes. Well, you are going to get something that's extremely gritty and compelling. You are going to be on the edge of your seat the entire time. Nothing is what it seems. I think it's even more shocking and more epic than season 1. And you're just getting not your typical procedural crime drama. You are getting this contemporary crime drama that's really focused on these deeply layered and deeply flawed characters that I think you will find that you either relate to or know someone who can relate to. And you will, it's just one hell of a ride. You won't be able to take your eyes off the screen. I couldn't when I was just reading the script. So now I'm very excited to see it come to life. And I think, I hope that the viewers enjoyed as much as we enjoyed making it.
On that note, Riley Voelkel, pleasure joining us this evening to preview season 2 of Hightown. As we said, debuting here in Ireland and the UK on October 17 to Channel Starzplay. Riley plays the character Renee Segna, 18 episodes so far, season 2, many more seasons to come. Thanks for sharing other details down the line. Riley, we wish you the best, and please God, hopefully down the line we get to talk to you sometime again in the near future. But for the moment, Riley Voelkel, take care.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for having me.
Cheers, Riley. Take care.